Oh, yeah, that's the sweet, sweet sounds of another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. This time, episode 32. Man, this has been insane. Episode 32. I can hear myself in the background. Who's watching us? Thank you for joining us, guys. Episode 32. We are weeks in what started as a joke, and now it's probably still funny. So, as always, we start the show by thanking you for being here. So asking you, what are you drinking? Tell us in the comments, and we'll go around the room. You guys might have noticed it's a 3-box and not a 4-box today. So Adam Green is not hanging out today. He is on vacation. The man has worn a mask. He's gotten on a plane and made his way to the faraway place known as San Diego. He's there.
Better for a whale's vagina.
Tell us what you're drinking in the comments. Thank you for joining us. Adam Ledford, what do you got?
Well, so as a Foley artist, I just cracked the Best Friends from Dark Sky. I'm very excited about drinking that. But first, I'm going to finish off this motherfucker right here.
You are killing me right now, man.
Yeah, super stoked about that. It's really good. What were you saying?
The full screen tongue situation was a little much, just a bit.
I thought you were going to minimize me. It's my bad. You know, there's a tongue to full screen ratio that needs to be preserved, and I violated that. It's in the FCC. I fully expect a bill from that. No, but this is excellent. Pliny the Younger, Pliny for president, regular Pliny.
All right, fair enough. Well, thanks for rubbing in the fact that you've got Pliny in a can. Trish, thank you for joining us. JJM says, Jacob Maggie said, damn that Pliny. Yeah, well, he's rubbing it in. Brett Berry, what are you drinking?
I'm going to avoid a stick my tongue out thing and be thankful that we haven't sprung for the 3D cameras yet for that move that Ledford did. But I have Monsoon from Pueblo Vida.
Nice.
Where'd you get that, Brett?
Fresh delivery from down Tucson yonder.
Who gave you that can, Brett?
I think it was you.
Is that rumor has it there's a can for me somewhere? Is that correct?
There is a can for you somewhere.
I got it right here.
Guys, hang tight. We've got our dear friend Akil from Wren Brewing Company joining us in a few minutes. He's going to talk about a stout that they're brewing called Black Excellence. We're going to hear more about that and where the proceeds are going, and have a chat with Akil and a beer with him. So hang tight. But boys, this has been an interesting week, right? It's lots of fun stuff going on. Lots of mask no mask bullshit again. So that's a good time. So I'm going to throw in my usual weekly reminder or twice weekly reminder. Wear a mask and wash your hands, you nasty.
Yeah. By the way, true story. I literally texted like 45 minutes ago a friend just to check in to see how he was doing. He just texted me back and said he has COVID and has been sick for a week. So wear a fucking mask.
Yeah, because like we said last week, masks are sexy. Yeah,
masks are sexy. Look, there's no sexy, like, you know what? Vaccinating your kids is sexy. It's super sexy.
Hold on, man. We have a ton of anti-vax moms that love this show. Don't ruin it. Stop it. Stop.
I am going to go on record and alienate every single anti-vaxxer mom right now. No, I should alienate anti-maskers because you sound as dumb as anti-vaxxers.
And there we have it. The viewership just dropped. Every middle-aged woman that was watching this show with a baby in one arm and a glass of wine in the other just got really mad and hit quit.
Yeah.
Now they just got mad.
Yeah. Anti-vaxxer drinking mothers is really is our target demo.
100%. Guys, check this. Trish picked up some hot chicken from the larder in Delta. Yes. Chef Stephen Jones is one of our good friends and friend of the show. We had him on. If you guys missed it, you can still look back at the other episode that we did with him when he taught everyone how to make some delicious panzanella salad and some salmon. So check it out.
100% selfishly did not share his hot chicken recipe. What a jerk.
Well, I mean, he said it was never going to happen. We asked and he goes, nah. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Yeah. He did not lie to us. It was full disclosure from the beginning.
It's true. It's true. Guys, you're watching. There's plenty of you watching. Please pop in, chime in, tell us what you're drinking. Trish, thank you for popping in and telling us that you were having some delicious Huss brewing. And I am drinking a gin and tonic. And you know what? Let's just go for. We're just hitting all the things. Since we're going to try and get a sponsorship from Truly, it's not working. Michelob Ultra didn't work. So hey, can Tanqueray help out? They're based out of London. Send me your British pounds, please. Send them to me. We'll take them.
Why are you addressing them in a Boston accent?
Damn it! You shut up. What do you got there? What do you got, Adam? Okay, you don't get a twofer on the rubbing it into our faces.
What?
I heard nothing. All I got was Adam rubbing things into our faces. Now we can't hear him at all.
I can't hear him either.
He's muted.
So, full disclosure, we went over to a friend's house, and there are I've told you guys about this. I think we've talked about it on the show. We have here in Tucson what I call my smallest circle, and there are two different couples, and they also don't really hang out with anybody else. And if we do get together, like once every 2 or 3 weeks, it's with each other. And so that's why this surroundings looks unfamiliar, because I am at their house and dinner was just served. So I'm going to pop out in just a minute. But that was them coming in because we've been drinking. No one could tell, I'm sure. But yeah, they are demanding my attention. So.
Well, don't leave until we pop Akil in here, and we'll let you go. But Trisha's saying she still dreams about the salad that Chef Stephen Jones made. I'm still dreaming about going and sitting down and hanging out with Stephen and having a bite to eat soon. Chris Macbeth, thank you for joining us. What's up, my friend? Tell us what you're drinking. Appreciate you. Before we bring Akil on here in a minute, I'm going to change the background for us to being inside of Wren House. Here we are.
Hey.
Now we're at Wren House. Look at that. You know, it's appropriate.
Usually it takes me like 5 minutes to transport myself to Wren House. That was like 5 milliseconds.
Which now the perimeter radius of where you live is so much easier for all the fanboys and fangirls that are going to try to find you for your autograph. Simple, easy peasy.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for one day for him to be on the show and just a knock on the door. Somebody's got to set it up. Chris says they're your COVID circle of trust, Adam Ledford.
Yes, they're in the trust tree with the branches.
Yeah, that thing that we didn't know existed until just now.
I think that's a good. I think that's a good way to put it. Honestly, like that's what it is. It's like you don't have to ask the 5 questions that you know. I guess I've been married for a long time. Maybe it's the questions you ask your potential sexual partners, like, who have you been with lately? Do you go out a lot? Are you? What's your philosophy on, like, how often do you go out with anyone?
I don't want to get into this in detail right now before we bring in Akil, maybe in a few minutes after him, but I don't know that I've ever started a conversation with anyone that I was interested in.
I didn't
like, hey, look pretty good. Who have you been with lately? That's never happened. Negative on that.
Yours is more like, so what's your sign? What's your temperature?
Okay, no, I'm not that much. Just so you guys know, I understand that you're hating on the shirt and don't want to look at it, but hey, Mankey says it's fine. There it is. It is what it is.
Hashtag fuck JJM. It needed to be said. It needed to be said.
That's it. Now we lost 14 fans today. It's not making me happy.
Hey, if Mikey was offended every time that came up, he would never go online ever.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just
Well,
saying.
without further ado, thank you all for joining us. Tell us in the comments what you're drinking. But Akil, how you doing, my friend?
Good. How about you?
Good, man. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. I'm super excited to have you on the show. Obviously we've had Drew on, we've had Luke on, but we have been trying to hang out and figure this out the last couple of weeks, and your schedule's been busy. So I'm happy that we found time to get you on.
Same here. Thanks for having me on, man.
Cheers. We asked everybody else, but what are you drinking?
So drinking a stout, as you can see, and obviously I work there, so where is it? Bird. There it is.
Oh yeah, I got a chance to try it. What was that? Last week, and it is delicious.
Oh yeah. It was a really cool collab from Undertow and Horace. So got some really interesting flavors out of it.
I love it. I actually, go ahead, Adam.
I just say I don't want to kick Adam Green while he's not here, but literally I talked to him on the phone and I was like, "Hey, Bird," and he goes, "Oh yeah, I had some extra cans of Bird in my checkout basket, and I just didn't get them because I didn't know anybody who would be interested.
Oh
To be
man.
fair, that is the most Adam Green story possible. He literally went through in the checkout in his shopping cart.
And like
about
in
to
that
check
moment,
out.
in the moment with extra beer in his cart, he's thinking to himself, like, yeah, I got those 3 co-hosts I do a show with, but I don't need these extra 3 beers. Like,
He wanted to save them for someone else, I guess. He was being nice.
I guess he was like, did I get enough retail therapy this week at Reniversary? Yeah, I'm good. I feel therapy. Let's go.
feel therapy. It's funny. We all went from buying other things to just buying more beer. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I think Amazon sent me a message the other day that was like, where are you at? Do you want stuff? Maybe.
Like, nope. Actually, for 9 days, I'm attached to Wren House, spending all my money there. I'll get back to you after.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we had to tell Amazon. Jeff Bezos sent me a letter. It came in a drone. Just flew down. Bloop. There's a cupcake. Like, please come back. Akil, did you spend more money on beer? Were you buying stuff outside of the stuff you guys were making at Red House, obviously, like through this whole quarantine period and people, staying at home?
Yeah, so I've bought some beer to support some like local craft spots. So like I've gone to Watering Tortoise and whatnot. So I did support them and whatnot. I mean, it's kind of hard, especially when I get to drink a lot of good beer all the time. So, but I still went out there and tried to support as much as I could.
Nice. Anything in particular that came out over the last, let's say, 8+ weeks that tickled your fancy outside of Red House?
To be honest, I was most excited. I don't know if people know, but Beer Stock Lager House out of Denver, Colorado, they've released their slow pour pills in cans.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's
I've been trying to find a mule for
amazing.
that stuff for the last 2 weeks because I've had friends that had to fly back out there for work. Now that things are a bit, I'm like,
I definitely have someone out there that can give me some, so I'll keep you in mind next time.
please.
But it was that was amazing. So can't say that wasn't, especially being in Arizona. It was perfect.
Now, I want to bring up something. People assume that since you're at Wren House and you're brewing at Wren House now, you always get whatever Wren House beer you want. But just so you guys know, we made a trade with Akil once. We got you a King Snake Grand Cru for, believe us, strawberry henna.
Yeah, it was a henna for sure. It was a henna. Well, what? Hey, I've definitely opened up the King Snake since then. But yeah, no, I mean, we do get to drink a lot of beer there, and they do give us access to a lot of stuff.
Right.
But that was like the second run of like King Snakes that we've done, and we just wanted to make sure that it was allotted to all our members first. Wren House eventually did end up giving me a bottle, so I got 2.
Nice.
Hey, Yusuf, where did that King Snake bottle come from that you traded?
I don't know if it was mine and Rob's or yours and Adam's.
It was me and Adam's.
Okay, whatever, man. I have the henna here, so whatever you're talking about, I got the end of that deal, so it doesn't matter.
To be fair, I don't think we've drank either of those yet because we've been waiting for all 4 of us to be together, and that just doesn't happen right now.
I was about to say that I was holding it hostage, but I just realized that if I didn't preface that with about to say, that's another thing Yusuf can't say. I can't look like this and say anything about holding hostages. It doesn't work. That's not a thing. Well, Akil, you're working on a stout right now, and that's one of the things that we wanted to touch on with you. We talked about it about 10 days ago.
Yeah.
So in the midst of this whole situation with protests and riots happening, and after the passing of George Floyd at the hands of absolutely terrible police officers, a lot of things came up, and you started working on a beer called Black Excellence, correct?
Yes, I did actually. Where is it at? There it is for the people, so they know.
Let me get in there and look at it. Hang on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, if you guys don't know. There it is.
Nice. So tell me about the beer. Tell me what inspired it. Let's start there.
So, as you touched on, with everything going on in the country and, these just horrific and unlawful, I would call unlawful killings of, Black people, people of color, it just sparked outrage across the country, in every area. And specifically, I think the craft beer industry is being very outspoken against what's going on right now. It just kind of gave us this platform to, be more than just breweries, try to aid those who are, going through the same thing that I'm going through and whatnot. So I don't know if there's other breweries doing the same thing. The big one that's taken off is called Black is Beautiful by Weather Souls, and it's blowing up. I think they're almost close to like 1,000 breweries doing it, which is amazing. It's really inspiring to see, the craft beer community bonding together, which they do. A lot of breweries did All Together. Sierra Nevada did Resilience. So
we saw a lot of breweries start collaborating and getting more creative during this this quarantine period, this stay-at-home period, because they had to, right? And they didn't have front of house action going on. Things weren't so busy at the front of house, so there was a lot more time to think about those things.
Yeah.
Almost at the end or transition, especially here in Arizona, when this all kicked off, because we had opened everything back up.
Yeah.
So you guys are collaborating with one brewery.
Yeah. So the brewery that we're collabing with is called. It's outside of Detroit, or it's in Detroit. It's in Ferndale, but it's called Eastern Market Brewing Company. How that kind of happened was I'm a part of this group called Brews Brothers that's based out of Detroit. They have a podcast, and really what happened is the ownership of Wren, they came to me like, hey, Akil, we want to do more for what's going on right now. And I was like, absolutely. I think it's a great idea to do something. And they were like, hey, we want to do a beer. And I was like, cool, that's perfect. And they're like, we want you to be in charge of it, head the project, do everything for it. And I was amazed. Great honor, because I just started. I've been at Wren House for 3 years, but I just started working the back of the house. I would say December, so January. So it's been about 6 months, and then when the quarantine happened, I moved exclusively back to the back of house, like brewing and cellaring, and kind of just took off from there. And they had a lot of faith in me, and they said, hey, this is gonna be yours. So I just kind of took it and run with it. And they said, hey, it'd be really cool if you included your group. And I said, absolutely. They would totally be honored. And that's kind of how it started, because they're based out of Detroit, and I wanted them to have access to the beer as well. So one of the guys in there, his name is Harry Weaver, is really good friends with the owner. His name is Dane. And I spoke to Dane, and he was 100% on board for whatever we wanted to do,
Nice.
Any way they could help. So I was like, that's amazing. How about you just collab with us? Like, how about, I just share the recipe, give it to you guys brew it, and,
So they, when you said they basically put you in charge, they just said, hey, this you come up with what style we're doing, you come up with the flavor profile, and then we'll all roll from there, right?
Absolutely, like 100%. The type of beer, the name, the design for the label. They just said, here, boom, So it's really cool. I'm very excited about it, and just something I'm really passionate about.
Nice. Well, if you guys have any questions for Akil, please chime in the comments. Let us know. Brett, I'm going to bring you back in. I know you've got a question for Akil as well.
Sure, Akil, I'm super excited about this. I love the concept. I'm hyped to see like even what the can art's going to be, because I can only imagine it's going to be fucking killer.
Oh yeah.
But I'm also excited to hear about the what the beer is going to be like what kind of flavor profile are we talking? How are you guys creating it? And whet my appetite a little bit. Get me excited.
Absolutely. I'll give you a little taste of wet your tongue right now. So obviously, for me, it was a no-brainer. With everything going on, the type of beer I wanted to brew had to be a stout. Obviously, it's black in color, nature, so that's what I had to do. There's no question about that. But to give it a little more depth and to really kind of be proud of my skin color and everything, and my roots and African heritage, I wanted to use all of our adjuncts are going to be sourced from Africa. Ooh. So to tell you what's in it, we're gonna do Madagascar vanilla beans.
Yes.
Which are black in color, brown. We're gonna do Ethiopian coffee, and coffee is black by nature and brown. And we're gonna do cacao from Ghana, and cacao is black by nature. So I really just wanted to throw in, all these adjuncts that I knew that would be great together. Obviously, it's gonna be fantastic. But I just wanted them to also be African sourced because I thought it would just make the message that much more powerful.
Absolutely.
Sounds amazing. By the way, Black by Nature, follow-up beer name.
Follow-up beer name. Might be a second beer you need to do.
Yeah.
or it's the untapped description for this beer. That's
Absolutely.
It's perfect. I got a couple of questions coming in. I've got more for you, but I want to have the audience chime in as well.
Absolutely.
We're taking a little bit of a turn in questions, but Beer Bob has one for us here. Glad you're talking about stouts, not to switch the conversation, but how do you guys feel about drinking high ABV, or what is RAS? Maybe I'm not getting my...
Russian Imperial Stout.
Thank you. I appreciate it. In the hot weather. So he's from Chicago. He'll drink them anytime. I already had this ready to go. So we already know there is no such thing as stout season, right? It doesn't exist.
Stout season is 365, 24/7.
Bingo.
First of all, everyone in Arizona right now is inside and sitting underneath their AC blowing, so it feels nice and chilly. But also,
I can drink a stout in 78-degree temperature any day of the week.
Well, 78 is cold.
I have drank some of my barrel-aged stouts sitting in my pool in the last month, and by some I mean a lot.
I would do that, but I have about one.
Well, it was one of those kind of days.
I hear you. It got to the drinking temperature quickly, and then you had to finish it faster. Just had to all right.
The dehydration was strong that evening.
Kevin Jones asks, did we say when Black Excellent Stout drops? Do we have a date?
So it's still fermenting. I would say it's going to be done here within the next week and a half. So I would expect it, early July for sure.
Perfect. It may be 4th of July stouts by the pool. Like we said, there's no such thing as stout season. It doesn't exist.
This is true.
Chris Macbeth, by the way, finally told us what he was drinking. And apparently it's a 32-ounce cup of vodka and diet lemonade. So, Chris, in the next 20 minutes, these comments are going to get really good from you, my friend. And then he also followed that up with he's drinking a stout glass of vodka.
When you talk about adjuncts, 2 questions.
Yeah.
How much of a lawsuit risk would it be if you said you had vibranium in there? And 2, would it be worth it to put that on your can?
I don't know, Wakanda forever, but I don't know. I mean, Disney's a major hitter. I would not want to get my Disney Plus disconnected, so I'll plead the 5th right now.
Maybe we're doing a clever misspelling and be like, it's got vibanium in it.
Just leave out something.
It's vibranium. That's what we'll call it. It's all fake anyway. Doesn't matter. So
Dizzy's gonna sue you over a fake element that's not actually in your beer.
You know why? Because they probably have it created already, like 5 years down the road for another superhero.
yeah, or there's a vibranium toy nobody knows about, and it's
No,
not
it's
sold in adult stores.
It's definitely it's a sport.
That was a different kind of toy.
That's a very different. That's that. You know.
How dare you, gentlemen? This is a family-friendly fucking show. Stop it. Still babies and wine. Babies and wine. They're still watching. Okay.
Absolutely.
Akil, so you talked about Brews Brothers, right? And they're based out of Detroit as well.
Correct.
Tell me more about Brews Brothers, because I had only recently looked them up, and it looks like it's a pretty cool gang. I was listening to one of their podcasts as well. So
Yeah. It just like I said, based out of Detroit, and how it kind of comes into play. I'm also from Michigan. I'm from Lansing, but I have family all throughout it, so I go back pretty often. I actually was back there last summer, and I was supposed to be there this summer visiting on kind of like a beer retreat type deal. So linked up with them. I never met them in person, just online, and I thought they were awesome. And that's kind of how it just took off from there. But like you said, they do a podcast. I've been on the podcast. Local beer, plenty of topics. So that's kind of just how it started over Facebook and whatnot.
sweet. I was trying to dig it through my history to find the link, but if you have it handy at some point or when we wrap up, send it over. I'd love to share it with everybody.
Yeah, I'll definitely put it in the comments.
You'll have to connect us as well, because we'd love to connect with those guys.
Yeah, for sure. They can. I'm pretty sure they'd be welcome to come on the show, and I'm pretty sure they'd be. And for them, they've done. It's kind of been a minute, and they were trying to figure out how to do the podcast. They normally do it at a brewery, in person, and obviously with the pandemic, they kind of had to shuffle around and switch and how to do different things.
So, and of course, we started on the opposite side, right? And we did this from home during the first week of quarantine. And now we're like, well, we're going to end up transitioning to doing this at a brewery, in person, at a cocktail bar, having cocktails, So we'll get there eventually. I want you to see what you saw down there. Right?
Hey, Amy, I see you. There we go. There's so many fellow Michiganders out here. There's too many of them. We're everywhere.
Trish says she skied in Cannonsburg. I don't know where that is. Do you?
No. If I were to take a guess, this is also a real Michigan thing. When someone explains Michigan to you, they're going to show their hand because it's a mitt. That's it. So I would probably say it's colder, like probably up top here. Lansing's like dead center. Detroit's kind of over here, but they're probably up here. Probably maybe getting up in the Uper area, but I have no idea.
Because I spent a week in Detroit for a conference I was doing, and it was freezing. And I think it was like March, and I was just like, again, this is me being a kid born in the desert with blood of a family from the Sahara Desert. My family's from Libya and North Africa. So it's just in here. I don't do anything below 80, guys. It doesn't work. It's not going to work for me.
Oh, yeah. No, my blood's definitely thinned out as well. I definitely know it. It's cold. Could you imagine being in the polar vortex when it was like negative 30 and 50? God, no.
No.
My father was talking to me that day. He was like, yeah, you can only go outside for 3 minutes before your lungs hurt. I was like, well, tonight's like 72 today. I'm so sorry to tell you.
We have the opposite of that, where we're like, well, in the middle of July, if you go outside, your eyeballs will burn.
Right? Making cookies in cars.
Has anyone ever, if you're watching from a different state, probably sounds batshit crazy, but has anyone ever heard of anyone getting an eyelid sunburn? That happens.
I've seen the skiing thing where you get burned on the upper part of your eyes because you get the snow reflection, and it's this really weird, like reverse holding the flashlight, telling a spooky story thing. But yeah, like I mean, that's kind of fucked up. But I've never seen an eyelid burn. But then again, I don't fall asleep in the sun.
I've seen two people so I don't fall asleep on a beach in general if I'm like out on a beach. But I had two friends who went out to the beach and like got eyelid burns. It doesn't sound like a good thing.
Did they have penis written across their chest in sunscreen? Because that's the other thing that should happen if you get an eyelid burn.
These are sober non-drinkers getting eyelid burns, man. Sober non-drinkers. Guys, if you're just joining us, we've got Akil with us from Red House Brewing Company. Akil, I want to make sure I don't say your last name wrong because the Middle Eastern in me wants to say Zakariya, but is it Zakariya?
I've definitely heard it. It's more like it's more biblical. So it's Zakariya.
Right. So if we go back to the Aramaic/Arabic, it would be Zakariya. It's fine. Okay. So Zakariya, thank you. I wanted to make sure I didn't say it wrong.
How biblical.
What's up, Petrov? Fellow Michigander, another one.
We got plenty of people joining us right now. Thank you, guys. By the way, this is a good time. I think, Brett Barry, you just cracked open your second beer, right?
I'm about to.
Well, if you're just joining us at the halfway point, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. What do you got there, buddy?
Robot Doodle from the shop.
Ooh.
Artworks looks cool.
Artwork is super cool. We've seen a lot of cool can art recently.
Plastic cup.
I was going to say I got what I was handed, but what I was handed was a friggin' Christmas miracle. The Horace Run Full collab. So I'm not sad over here, guys. I'm not sad.
I need to get my hands on some of that at some point because I love Horace and I love Run the Jewels.
I got you, man. I got one bottle left. I will say, I know we don't do the political thing, but let's talk about how much anybody who ever watched Killer Mike talking about the situation in Atlanta and his address to everybody in the town hall, like, brought a tear to my eye. Holy shit, man. That guy is amazing. And I think that he had some pretty incredible words of wisdom.
Yeah, he's great rapper, great lyricist, and a great individual. He has actually a special on Netflix called Trigger Warning, which is really cool. And it also touches on empowering Black folks and whatnot. And I think I've watched a couple episodes where he tried to, for 24 hours, do like everything that he was to do was Black. The food he ate, the clothes he wear, his phone, transportation, everything was Black owned, which I guarantee is a tough fight, but he did it.
You're going to be eating some squid ink pasta that evening. It's like maybe a really dark miso soup. I was sitting here trying to think of what I would be eating and drinking. And that's, yep.
I mean, it would definitely be tough. But yeah, his address to Atlanta was heartfelt, pleading for people with the city to, not burn the city. But at the same time, when people that are oppressed, what do? So their voices aren't being heard in other ways, so they turn to something else.
It's funny how much of a dichotomy there is in this conversation. And then when anybody brings up something as simple as like the Boston Tea Party, they're like, that was different. How? Yeah, please lay it out for me because I want to know. It's just, if you don't get heard, make noise.
Exactly. And I mean, back in the day, it was theirs was just tea. When you say that, theirs was tea. They were mad at a tax on tea.
Yeah.
And that's when you learned it in school. You're like, man, the tax on tea, that set them off. Fast forward to 2020, and you'd be like, oh man, they're asking for equality just not to be killed.
Yeah,
to be fair, like a month earlier, people were in Michigan with ARs screaming at the elected officials at the state house, and things seemed to get dispersed more peacefully. It was weird.
You mean?
Oh, Lord. Weird. I think everyone walked around unscathed. I'm pretty sure they did. I don't think any one of them was tear gassed or pepper sprayed or rubber bullet or bead or I don't think tased. I don't think nothing. I think they all walked out pretty unharmed.
I want to. We got a few things that came up here, and Ledford, if you want to help me scroll through these comments, is that good?
This is fire.
A dig. Before I want to button up that last conversation we just had. Look, if you're running around bitching about your rights and complaining about not wearing a mask, just remember that there's something else going on right now because people are getting fucking oppressed. So, side note, if your masks are a problem, you forgot about everything else that's been happening the last couple of weeks.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, not too long did there was a gentleman by the name of Nico who works for Finback. He writes for Good Beer Hunting and Hop Culture, and he actually came into Wren and did a small 300-word piece on the beer and everything. But the first thing out the gate that he said on the piece is something I mentioned. I get up. I got kids. I have a fiance. I go to work, not knowing if I'm going to come back the next day or who knows. And people don't they don't think about that, but it speaks volumes to so many people in this country.
It does. It does. It absolutely does. I want to ask you one more question. I know we talked about we're expecting the beer early July. When this comes out, do you have plans to possibly do something else in the near future, shortly thereafter?
So, everything that's going on right now isn't going to be figured out today. It's not going to be figured out tomorrow.
Yep.
This is years. It's going to take this is a long time. This is going to take a lot of healing, a lot of time, a lot of understanding, a lot of truth. So the plan for this beer actually is to be brewed yearly. We're going to do this beer yearly and just build on it, and possibly more breweries will hop on. They'll join in on the cause and just keep moving forward because, I think if everybody, especially the craft beer community, if we just let up and become stagnant, nothing will change, and we need to erect change. So this hopefully becomes a yearly thing. Definitely want to see a barrel-aged version of this.
I was going to follow up with that. A barrel-aged version sounds amazing, and you guys are essentially assembling a locomotive, and you've got a train for change in the craft beer community, in the beverage community, and I think it's amazing, man. I do want to. That's what I forgot to ask you, and we talked about it pre-show. But the proceeds are going to the NAACP, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So at the time when this kind of all kicked off, we knew we were going to donate 100% of the proceeds. We didn't know where. And for me, I love, Phoenix and whatnot, and I, would love just to give it to a Phoenix-based organization, but with adding another brewery in that's, in the Midwest and us being here, I wanted it to be dispersed, across all the country, because it's not just here in Phoenix that needs help. It's not just there in Michigan. It's across the whole country, and I feel like they would have greater reach to accomplish with what we're going to donate. So hopefully I can connect with someone from the Phoenix chapter who I can get in contact and be like, hey, this is what we're doing, and whatnot, give it to them, say oh yeah, that's what they were doing, and just go from there. Or maybe if there's a Phoenix chapter and then they disperse it within Phoenix, at least I kind of know that it went to a national organization that definitely helps out their communities as well. So I just feel like they had greater reach.
Perfect. Well, if you're willing, and if our friend Drew is willing as well, when that is brewed, I would love to have you back on the show. We'll talk about it again, and we'll taste it together. Maybe do a preview before the release. So
absolutely, I definitely would definitely love to come back on the show and present this this is my baby. This is like my first beer, pretty much doing it all on my own. So this is special for me. So definitely would love to do that.
Well, our friend Trish from the U.S. Bartenders Guild, we've done a bunch of stuff with them. The chef episodes we did were in collaboration with the U.S. Bartenders Guild. It says they're here for you. We're here for you. If there's anything we can do, we're going to blast it out. Once you guys have some artwork out there and stuff written up, we're ready to support, and we're supporting now. And we appreciate you being here. Stan Fraser says, in tribute to Akil and all the peeps at Wren pouring some Mercury Mine, prost, dude, and go blue. Don't act like a Michigan fan. You're a Sun Devil. Come on.
Hey, Michigan's cool, but I'm an MSU fan at the end of the day. But guess what? I really don't like Ohio State. I think we can come to that terms. I'm not Ohio State.
We can all agree on that.
Ohio State's, they're terrible. But it's still MSU.
All right.
Where's Ian Harwell when we need him? He's the Ohio State. Oh, and Justin, right?
Ian Harwell of Ground Control. He's doing great things. His Nashville hot chicken's delicious. Who else? Shad. Everybody knows Shad. He's a huge Ohio State fan. Justin. Of Tortoise.
He came earlier with the Michigan is great. I thought I saw him post something. Oh, there it is. Go blue. He did. Justin did see
go green.
But I love the Michigan State rivalry. It's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, it's a great one. I mean, the greatest rivalry in all of sports is definitely Michigan versus Ohio State, but I like ours.
Well, there's the support for the green there, because you got a little go green action. And Beer Bob says it's cool to see some variety packs from
Yusuf, they were just cheering for Bubby. Go green, Grandma Green.
Yeah, Akil, if you don't know, Adam Green's grandmother, Bubby, is our biggest fan.
She loves this show, and we love it. She's amazing.
I mean, it's like incredible how big of a fan she is. We love her. So, Bubby, if you're watching, thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Bubby.
Yeah. She's even got a social distance drinking club shirt.
Oh, she's committed.
Oh, she's
in.
a
true fan.
She's in.
She's in a little bit, yeah.
You got to get her on an episode if she wasn't already.
We're trying. We're going to try and figure it out. But Adam's staying, safe distance at the moment. Obviously, you don't want to.
I mean, you can help people out with the internet and whatnot, right?
We had a long discussion about that, and maybe.
We're workshopping that concept. We're figuring it out.
Akil, Bubby already gave Adam some money to take the boys out if and when we're ever able to. So we're gonna get drunk on Bubby one night.
Yeah, it was 47 cents because she still thinks it's 1940, but we're gonna get.
It was a savings bond that's gonna be worth $20 in 14 years.
I love grandmothers. They do the best thing. I remember this so clearly. My grandmother, I call her Granny. I think for my 13th or 14th birthday, she gave me 13 quarters and taped them all to a card and sent them to me from Michigan. And I was like, that's awesome. I can buy something as a child.
There's a machine on the way out of the arcade.
I got 6 games of pinball from it. It was great.
I was thinking
that was really a college savings fund for laundry with the laundry machines. You need those quarters.
Why am I the only one who thought of the little machines with the toy capsules on the way out the door of the grocery store? And I was like, I can get a sticky hand with those.
True, but it was only one of my quarters. I had 13 others to spend, so I had to do something.
Sadly, I thought of nickel beer night at Lowry's, and I was like, 13 quarters would get you pretty fucked up.
Hey, that gets you real drunk. I remember when you could get, I'm not that old, but, 25-cent wings was pretty cheap, too.
I can go for 13 wings right now, and I just ate dinner, so.
That was the thing. Akil, thank you so much for your time, my friend. Feel free to hang out backstage. We are going to wrap up our show with a game we call the Bad Beer Name Game, but cheers to you. And
thank you
for
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me on and letting me talk and speak, and I appreciate it.
Looking forward to Black Excellence, having a sip of it, and sharing another conversation with you on the show, as well as seeing you in person, hopefully in the near future. If you guys wear your masks and wash your fucking hands,
Exactly. Everyone at Wren misses everyone, so Arizona needs to get healthy, and we can all see each other again.
Is that a mask there, Adam? Did I see it? Oh wait, there's another one.
We are. So, sorry, I think it's out. Oh, that's some bullshit.
Akil, thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
This is what I'm not drinking because they're like, "Oh, you're on the show, asshole."
Oh my god, this is amazing.
What happens? You got kind of booted there. Guys, thanks for watching. Hang tight. We got a quick fun game we like to play called the Bad Beer / Booze Name Game. Adam Ledford, clearly a couple of beers deep.
I'm fine.
We're throwing things at full-grown adults.
Give me your keys right now.
Give us your keys.
I did not start the evening with keys. I know how to play this game.
Down below, you'll see a link. It's not really a link, but it is a URL, socialdistancedrinking.club.com. Check it out. Order a shirt, help support the show. And also, thanks for watching, because that supports the show. It makes us feel better about ourselves. Otherwise, we're just spending Thursday evening drinking alone. Boys, is it about that time? Because I think it's time for the beer name game.
Oh, it's so that time.
Who's going first?
It's up to you guys. You tell me.
I won't put it in the I won't put it in banner, but I'll tell everybody, if you've got just a beer name, I'll take them. The boys might, and I will come up with a description based solely on a beer name. If you want to pop those in your comments, but Adam Ledford, toss something over to Brett Berry. I'm going to step away and grab a beverage because I'm empty.
All right, Brett Berry. Don't look at the private chat yet. Let me make sure that I have this exactly right. But yeah, I definitely had fun writing this one.
All right. Are you ready for me?
No, not quite yet. What how's the beer you're drinking, brother?
I think it's delightful. It is, it's a DDH hazy, 7.1%, and it is smooth as fuck. Super juicy, super citrusy. If you're looking for a hop burn, this is not your beer, but boy, it's just fun.
Nice. Yeah, I tell you, broken record time, but Shop, they turned the corner 2+ years ago now. I mean, it's not news that all of a sudden they were on the radar, but they rarely disappoint, man. I'm pretty happy with almost everything that they put out these days.
Yeah, to me, it changed when they released Tickle Fight, which I thought was great.
Yeah, Tickle Fight, and we did this already. What was the Bingo Bango Bongo, the modern collab? That one really opened my eyes to what they had the potential to do, and they've been delivering on that ever since. Okay, so Brett Berry, tell us about the new. Oh, Yusuf, you have no idea, but this is the perfect time for you to crack that right now. Brett Berry, tell about the newest releases in hard cider.
I thought it was the beer name game, not the cider name game.
It's the name game.
It's booze. It's beer / booze. It's the booze name game.
All right. The top 10 most followed Instagram influencers have come together to bring you Keeping It 100, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, hard seltzer. Designed in a marketing office, this fruit. No, you realize nobody else can see that this is how that is written out, right?
It's for you. It's for you.
00T. Flavored seltzer itself has little to no substance. This beverage was created entirely for how good the can looks. Sitting on a fence post in a field of flowers, shot in portrait mode. Or partially buried in the sand near your totally unplanned cleavage, shot in portrait mode. Or on a tiny cozy porch, sitting on a bistro table beside a vase filled with white Christmas lights, shot in portrait mode. Early reports show that over 300 million Instagram followers promised to buy some on the release date, but at the time of this report, less than 100 cases had been purchased, mainly by family members in desperate neckbeards. Tasting notes indistinguishable from Truly, Keeping it 100. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. Brought to you by the people that gave you Fire Festival.
Yes.
Shout out to John Roll and that other douchebag who went to jail.
I mean, I added the fire. I improv the Fire Festival at the end there, Yusuf.
I know. I wasn't going to say anything.
It was beautiful.
It was good improv. It was really good. All right, Adam Ledford, I am going to give you this one. Are you ready?
Syllables. We can do this.
Yeah. Just red leather, yellow leather yourself.
That's a beer name.
Red leather, yellow leather yourself is a beer name?
Yep.
It might be. I'm sending you the beer name second, but prepare yourself, Adam, for this one.
All right, you tell me. Am I ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right. So you're out on the sandlot with the gang. It's hot. It's sweaty. You're parched, but damn it, you've got plans today. You need to keep your swing strong. Sure, you could grab that Legend of the Beast triple IPA, but you'll be toast. You need to refresh and still be able to run away if you need to. A sessionable wheat beer with berry adjuncts. This brew that tastes as good as a kiss from Wendy Peppercorn. You mix your Wheaties with your mama's toe jam.
There she is. I was feeling inspired by Sandlot today, and I thought I'd throw that in your direction.
I love it. I love it. You're killing me, Smalls.
But you should have said brought to you by the Sultan of Swat Brewery.
You're right. It's a swing and a miss on that part, for sure. What do we got next, boys?
First of all, we need to highlight this comment because it's worth saying. It's worth saying there, Bob.
That's rude because you didn't highlight that comment. That's right. I could be truly
the same thing. I mean,
you haven't risen to the rank of captain.
This isn't right, guys. You guys are picking on me too much. All right, give me a beer. Let's go.
Okay, Yusuf, I got one for you, but you guys need to have some clever banter because, as always, I have to paste in more than is necessary.
Clever banter.
I assumed when you started that sentence, you were going to say that you need to pace yourself because you've been drinking.
I should pace myself. It ain't happening.
Well, Clever Banter is also a great beer name, by the way, guys. I'm just
and the rare equivalent of a pithy dialogue.
When I walked away, I don't think we got a chance to hit these comments. I don't know if you guys did, but Sam Fraser says, thank you to Akil and can't wait to try Black Excellence. So neither can we. We're super excited to do that. I did see a comment about quarters from Chris Macbeth. He said back in the day when he grew up, video games were a quarter. I miss those times because you go to GameWorks and it's like, insert all of your money. And you're like, okay. And you're $6 in and it's like, more money, please. You can't play DDR for less than $10. Not that I play DDR. Don't judge me.
They got an entire pitcher of Coors for $2 when they went there in Tempe.
Those were the old days, man.
Those
were the real old days.
Pitcher for $2. I'd risk COVID for that.
I mean, if you spend $20 on Coors Light at that bar, do you get a degree from ASU?
Yes,
you do.
Yusuf, sir, are you ready?
I am indeed. Let's do this thing.
Okay, so not a beer, but an important facet of behind the scenes. Go for it, sir.
All right. Here at the Aluminum Producers Union, we want to remind folks how much better aluminum is than glass for alcohol packaging. Lightweight and recyclable, aluminum cans are the perfect choice for your beer, wine, and seltzers. We're launching a national campaign to remind you to take it in the can when you travel. When I travel, I take it in the can every chance I can get. And for the ladies and out there, figures, we know you can't quite fit as much in your slim cans, but we appreciate your efforts just as much. Just remember to help your fellow men. Treat yourself and take a can. Remember, 19, keep those rims clean.
Oh, I I knew I would break you eventually.
By the way, I can't be the only one that notices the theme to the beer names that Adam Ledford writes up.
I don't know what you're talking about, Brett.
It taints something I can put my finger on.
This has gone off the. Save the extra for another time. I want to wrap this thing up because taking to the can was. That's it. Can't get any better than that. As we wrap up, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and crush this blueberry acai thing from Truly because I heard acai is good for your body for some reason. So this is going to go down my gullet. And damn it, Beer Bob. That's perfect. So every time we do this, you make me do something that is so incriminating that you just have this archive on the internet.
Weird. It's so weird how that worked out like that.
You guys are horrible people. Guys, thanks for joining us. A toast to you all and a toast to our friend Akil and Wren House and what they're working on right now. Can't wait to try Black Excellence. Can't wait to see you guys on Sunday at 1:30 for the Sunday Day Drink. I believe I might have a special guest lined up. So
can somebody throw up Sam Fraser's comments before we end?
Which one?
No, I think we should. There we go. We'll do that one. There we go. Yeah. Good job.
I just wanted to embarrass Yusuf even more.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Akil's still here, so we're going to have him join us for a quick toast as we wrap up the show. Akil, you're ready. Hey.
There's a full glass, too.
Nice. Let's take a look at that glass. What do you got? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have glassware envy.
I do, too, at the moment.
Oh, man, it's so hard. There's some glasses out there that are so dope, and I'm just like, or like when I break a glass, I think I lose a piece of my soul. Just like I broke one 2 days ago, and I threw my sponge that I clean it with. I chucked it. I was like, I hate you.
It's the freaking worst. Prost to you, Sam Fraser. Akil, hang tight. We'll hang out in the green room after the show, as we call it, after we end the live. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to you, Akil. Thank you for joining us. A toast to the screen. And this has been another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. Take care.
Take it in the can.